All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here preaching this gospel and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. And I ran across this video right here on TikTok. When you have this this Israelite woman right here, the so-called black woman, and she's basically venting, and she's ranting on about how black men don't like being around the so-called black woman anymore. She's talking about how they don't like to hang around them. They don't like to go to lunch or brunch, as she says in this video. They don't like to go to brunch or go eat out with them. They don't like to hang out with them anymore. And she's trying to figure out why black men don't like to hang around black women anymore. But she's asking these questions, but deep down, not even deep down, man. It's obvious why black men stay away from the so-called black woman. Black men are always been put in jail behind these women. I just seen another video on TikTok, which I've seen plenty of videos similar to that one, but it was a so-called black woman setting up some black men in a hotel room, to get them robbed. I've seen, we've all watched Maury and all those shows where they sleep around and then try to pin a baby on, whatever man is making the most money or whichever man is more financially stable. Black women, they do all kind of manner of evil, man. And not only that, they try to act like they are men, They have so much pride that they try to act like they are better than men. They try to act like they better than so-called black men. They put the white man, so-called white man, over you. That's why you got this whole divestiture movement of these women, of these so-called black women trying to, find love from a Edomite man, which that's not working out too good for them. The so-called white man doesn't want them like that. He's only using Eve to basically oppress the Israelite man. He's just using Eve as a lapdog to try to keep the so-called black man in check. You see what I'm saying? This is why they systematically found ways to get the father out of the home. That way our children are only raised by single so-called black women. It messes up the whole dynamic of the family unit. That way the whole family dynamic, the strong family structure, which is supposed to, be strong on traditional values, they destroyed that, And Esau Edom, he used the so-called black woman to do it by promising her freedom, to be able to do what she want to do and not be ruled over by a man. And this is where we are today. This is why everything's so fucked up in the so-called black community. You see what I'm saying? Because they fell for it. They fell for they fell for the lies that was coming out of the serpent mouth. Promising them freedom, promising that they can be equal to a man, so on and so forth. But you women, y'all will never be equal to a man, man. No matter how hard you want to be equal to a man, you will never be equal to a man. And y'all talk about how y'all don't need men and things like that. But if men disappeared today, this world would be in all out hell and chaos that same hour. Y'all women would be running and screaming, and y'all wouldn't know what to do without men, man. Men are the ones that make things comfortable for you to talk shit. You see? So without men, you wouldn't have no infrastructure. You wouldn't have no buildings. You wouldn't have your jobs. You wouldn't have your cars. You wouldn't even know how to feed your damn self if all men disappeared, man. But this is just the pride of women. Men have made the environment for women so comfortable that now they talk shit about men, after men have put them in the comfort that they in. But, I don't want to ramble too much. So let me just play this video real quick. Then I'm going to bring out a few scriptures, and it ain't going to be nothing too long, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Of why men don't come to brunches.
That I got of angry black men
dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to pay for stuff and just the lies. If I'm inviting you to a brunch, that means me and my girls already got our tickets and our tables. What do we need your stuff for? What's that little money gonna do? Majority of the women making more money anyway. So why would I care for that? All I said was, we want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men? Why can't the black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have a good time? You be home by 6 and watch the game. Why would y'all rather choose being with all men? I never seen a world where men be so thirsty to just be with men and not women. And complain when women invite y'all to something. We just want to have a good time with y'all. Why y'all so mad at us? That's so weird, and we the same skin. We supposed to be hanging together anyway, not against each other. It sounds like y'all don't like us. Answer that. Do y'all like black women still? What do we do? Because I know I ain't did no bad stuff to black men. Like, I love black men. I ain't never even dated a white man before. I'm so loyal. I understand that. Please, we just want y'all to hang with us. That's it. Have fun with us. What's wrong with that?
Part 2.
No, we do not give a fuck about, nor do we want to hang around, nor do we like the so-called black woman. No, the answer is no. We do not like you. You know, we do not like the so-called black women. You know, the only women we like are the ones that, you know, are in order. You know, they know how to follow directions. They know how to follow the lead of a man. You know, those are the women we like. The ones that know how to take orders, the ones that know how to listen and keep their damn mouth shut. Those are the women that we like. But most so-called black women are not like that. So no, we do not like so-called black women. You know, but you know, in the beginning of this video, she was basically trying to belittle so-called black men, talking about we don't need your little money. You know, just saying little sneak shit like that. And this is why we don't like so-called black women, man. Y'all try to sneak this, try to throw little things out there to try to belittle so-called black men. Then y'all, at the same time, y'all begging black men to hang around you or try to be around you. You know what I'm saying? This is why men are, you know, what's that movement? Men going their own way. This is why MGTOW. And this is why you have passport bros. This is why you have movements like this, man. You know, mainly because of Americanized women, you know, westernized women. But, you know, a lot of so-called black men, they just done with black women in general. You know, they want a different nationality of woman. You know, they want the so-called white woman. They want, you know, the Asian woman, you know, or the Arabian woman. You know what I'm saying? These are the women that so-called black men are going for. They're not trying to hang around a group of fucking black females for what? Just for them to gossip and keep running their damn mouth and try to belittle you and make jokes about you on the side? Hell nah, man. You know, black women have fell for the okie doke. They fell for the white man's bullshit, and now they have become the enemy of so-called black men. You know, and now the curses that was put on our people, you know, to make us dislike each other like that. You know, these same curses are being put on these Edomites as well, you know, and now they're starting to dislike and hate each other as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the same system, the same things that they use to split, you know, the black family structure up, quote unquote, black family structure, the same tactics they use to destroy us as a nation. You know, those same things are being used on them. They're falling into their own traps. So this is why you have all of this tension between the so-called white man and the so-called white woman now. You know, even just white men and white men, white men and white women, you know, just Edomite people in general, you know. So these curses are being put upon our enemies as well. You know what I'm saying? But to answer her question, no, we do not like nor do we give a fuck about the so-called black women. You know what I'm saying? And you women, y'all gonna learn the hard way. Let me play this video again, because I think she said something else that I wanted to touch on, but I think I forgot what it was. Let me play it again real quick.
Of why men don't come to brunches.
That I got of angry black men dogging us out so bad, saying how we want y'all to pay for stuff and just the lies. If I'm inviting you to a brunch, that means
So how is that lies? You can see all the shit that's on the internet of these women saying they not going 50-50 for nothing. So obviously that means you want the man to go 100 while you save all your money. So how is that a lie? You want the man to pay for every damn thing while you sit and watch fucking reality TV shows all day, saving all your money while the man is going in his pockets on everything. You know, when the scriptures talk about a wife should be a helpmate unto the man, you should be helping him in any way that you can, even if it's 70-30. You know, you should be taking that 30%. But now you got women talking about they don't even want to go. If they go 50-50, then they gonna commit adultery. You know, you got women talking about if they go 50-50, then they gonna cheat. So you want the man to go broke. You want the man to spend all his money so you can save up your money and leave anytime that there's a disagreement. Now you got all your money saved up. Hell no. So that wasn't no lie. You women, y'all want the man to pay for every fucking thing.
Me and my girls already got our tickets and our tables. What do we need your stuff for? What's that little money gonna do? Majority of the women making more money anyway. So what?
And you women, y'all, how are y'all making the most money? Let's see. How does this make sense? Y'all are making the most money. Y'all the most financially stable, but at the same time, y'all got the highest eviction rates. How do y'all have the highest eviction rates if y'all are the most financially stable and the ones that's making the most money? Answer me that.
Why would I care for that? All I said was, we want to hang with y'all. Why I can't say we want to hang with the black men? Why can't the...
We don't want to hang with you. So-called black man does not want to hang with the Israelite woman. You know, especially the so-called black woman. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck would I want to hang with a woman when she trying to fucking act like me? Why the fuck would I want to hang with a woman that's trying to act like a man? You know? All aggressive and shit. You know, talking with deepening her voice and shit, trying to talk with her chest and shit. You know, trying to make demands and shit. Why the fuck would I want to hang with a group of women that act like fucking men? You know, where is the pleasure in that? Those fucking days is over, man. We ain't trying to fucking hang around no fucking black women. And all they do is run off at the mouth and make you want to put your hands on them. You know, with all that deep ass talking that they do, all that aggressive ass behavior that they have, you know, like all combative and shit. And then when shit get physical, then they want to call the cops and shit. You know, but I thought you was equal to a man. I thought you can beat a man's ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to see how you women end up in these last days, man. All y'all already getting kicked out at the highest rates ever. You know, eviction rates is going through the fucking roof. Repossessions on cars is going through the fucking roof. You know, and you just know that the majority of these repossessions and evictions are just women. You know what I'm saying? So these women, they going through it, man. And this is only the beginning. Just wait.
Black men come enjoy a brunch with us and chill and just eat and have a good time. You be home by 6 and watch the game. Why would y'all rather choose being with all men? I never seen a world where men be so thirsty to just be with men. And now
men hang around other men because we know that we don't. Why the fuck would we want to befriend a group of fucking women and go out and eat with a group of fucking women when women don't even fucking like each other? You know, women. You grew up in a household with black women as a child, man. They'll talk shit about the person that they was just on the phone with. You know, that was shit that my mama was doing. You know, she'll have a phone call with somebody, then she'll be talking shit about them as soon as they hang up. You'll be like, damn. Or people that they work with, you know, go out and eat with them and go out and hang out with them, but then be talking shit about them once they get back home. You know, men are not like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Men know how to squash shit. Men know how to be cordial. You know, these are the traits of a man. Men are not all fickle and shit like these women, you know, and untrustworthy. So they are very manipulative and untrustworthy creatures. This is why women don't even fucking like each other. They don't trust no other woman around a man. You know, they backstab, you know, blackmail, all kind of shit, man. Women don't even like each other. So why the fuck would men want to hang around a group of fucking women? Answer me that question also.
Women. And complain when women invite y'all to something. We just want to have a good time with y'all. Why y'all so mad at us? That's so weird. And we the same skin. We supposed to be hanging together anyway. Not a
All right, enough of that. Let me let's go into this real quick. And this is Amos 3:3. And it says, can two walk together except they be agreed? Which means basically, can you hang out with somebody with basically a different outlook on life than you? Can you hang out with somebody that's not like you? You know? Like, can I, why the fuck would I'm a so-called black man. I'm a straight male. You know, I like women. You know what I'm saying? I believe that I'm a Israelite. Why the fuck would I go hang out with somebody that's in the LGBT community? You know? And they believe in Jesus Christ and they believe in God loves everybody, you know? And they fucking like men. Why the fuck? That's someone that I can never walk together with because we are not in agreement. You know, we got two different mindsets and two different outlooks on life. You know, I can't be in agreement with somebody like that because we're too different. You see what I'm saying? So as far as so-called black men and so-called black women, why the fuck would we just go hang out with so-called black women when we have two different outlooks on life and two different mindsets? You know, and I want a woman that's submissive. I want a woman that can take orders, that can shut their damn mouth, that can listen, you know, that can cook and clean, still have traditional values. You know what I'm saying? And here she is as a black woman. She's a feminist, thinks she's better than men, you know, can't shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Wear pounds of fucking makeup, use filters, you know, talk shit about men, think she's equal to a man. Wow, that's two different outlooks on life. That's two different mindsets. So no, we cannot be in agreement. We cannot hang out with each other. And if we do, it's going to be something business related. It's not going to be on no trying to have you as a wife shit. It's not going to be on no friendship shit or nothing like that. It's going to be strictly business. So no, so-called black men are tired of being around these so-called fucking black women, man. You know? Fucking tired, man. You see what I'm saying? Because it's too different. It's too different now. You know? Even though we grow up in the same environment, you know, we grow up believing two different things. And, you know, at the end of it, because this world, it pushes feminism on women, and then they develop a certain mindset when they get to a certain age, you know, because they sucked in and basically absorbed all this bullshit that the outside world is forcing on them, and they accept it. You see what I'm saying? Only like-minded individuals or people who have the same goals in life, they're going to be compatible when it comes to, you know, being friends or hanging around each other because they have the same interests and the same goals, you know? So can two walk together except they be agreed? You know what I'm saying? And the answer is no. You cannot hang around somebody that you're not one with, you know, which means you basically on the same accord, you know? And let's go to this real quick. This is Jeremiah 31:22. And it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And this is what got these women pride so out of hand, man. You know, women think because they have these jobs as judges, you know, they can be lawyers, you know what I'm saying? They can be the police officers, then push them on the same level as a man. When really, when women even get in these positions, they still have a man over them. You know, women get in these positions and they still have a man over them. Even these women judges, they're taking orders from somebody else that's a male, you know, but then they want to push this shit out like they equal to men. They more powerful than men. You know, women rule the world and all kind of shit like that, man. That's false. Women don't rule shit, man. You put 10 women on one island, you put 10 men on another island, all those women gonna be fucked up. They ain't gonna survive. They gonna starve to death. They gonna start eating each other. You know, they gonna be backstabbing each other, you know, stealing food from each other, all kind of shit. The men, they done built a damn a shelter. They done built, you know, they got food on the damn, spinning around a stick, made shoes and clothes out of leaves and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how the men would be. But the women, hey, they ain't gonna survive on their own, because women, they're not built like that, you know. But this world pushes that shit, and they accept it because they want to be like men. You see what I'm saying? But because of women, because of the Lord has created a new thing in the earth, and women have jobs and they're put in positions where they're at a higher level than a lot of other men, then that they get that pride that they are better than men and shit like that, and that only feeds into their ego and that feminist ego that they already have. You see? And this is the last one. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, because like I said, I wasn't trying to drag this too long. And this is Micah 7:10, and this is a common scripture that we use. But it says, "Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is the Lord thy God? My eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets." And when all hell break loose, when it's all chaotic, you know, and it's all kind of turmoil out here, when the financial system get worse, you know, the financial situations for all of these women get worse, eviction rates, you know, increase tenfold, you know, repossessions and all that, you're gonna see a lot more videos on the internet of these women crying, talking about they need help, trying to start GoFundMe's and all type of shit to pay their bills, man, because they don't know what to do. Because you didn't want to go 50-50 with a man, but you wanted to go 100 by yourself, man. How fucking stupid is that? How much pride and arrogance do you have to not want to be in a relationship with a man that's gonna, you know, help you out, but instead you would rather not say nah and be arrogant and be prideful and try to do everything by yourself, man? And now you crying on the fucking internet begging for money, man. You see? So no, we just at this point, no, we don't want to fucking hang out with no so-called black women. You know, we don't really want to hang out with really women in general, unless they are a woman. You know, as Israelite men, we like to hang out with our women when they are, but we ain't finna go out of our way to hang out with some group of fucking women that don't even like themselves, man. You know, we just sitting back. You know, we watching the world burn, and we want to watch all you women suffer while the world burn. We want to see y'all crawl and beg and say that y'all need men again. We want to hear that shit come out your mouth, you know? And even then, we might still flip a middle finger off at your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't trying to hang out with no fucking women, man. We just want to sit back and watch the world burn and watch you suffer with it, you know? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Against each other? It sounds like y'all don't like us. Answer that. Do y'all like black women still?
Fuck no.